I believe that we've been here for the last 3 days, and as all of us know, it's been a fantastic opportunity, not just for President Mahama, but the delegation, for the good people of Ghana. You do know that this meeting was actually on the back of 30 years after the Beijing conference. We were here with Madame Oye Olitha, who at the time was a young activist. She spoke with nostalgia about how she believed that the Ghanaian woman or girl child had come a long way, noting very well that over the years Ghana's female population, or the girl child population, has grown to about almost 52.1%. And so when our president spoke at the global leaders meeting on women here in Beijing, he spoke beautifully about the opportunities, the policies, the innovative ways in which the Ghanaian girl child has actually been empowered. He spoke beautifully about his vice president, Professor Nana Jima. He expressed his hope about the Ghanaian future, where a female will one day become president of Ghana. He spoke largely about all the initiatives such as the sanitary pad project that has been recently introduced so that we can keep the girl child in school. Secondly, he introduced the incentives by way of the Women's Development Bank, also to empower women. He also spoke about all the efforts that political parties are making to encourage more women's participation in parliament, and spoke beautifully about how he had himself personally encouraged females to enter parliament, and looked also at his cabinet in the number of appointments in terms of political appointments, heads of institutions, the judiciary, and all the other arms of government, and the numbers of women who have been given opportunities to do that. He also mentioned the fact that Ghana had passed the Affirmative Action Act, and so basically we had to do at least 30% of our female appointments, and that he was trying to meet that requirement, and then of course for it to progress in accordance to what the 50% encouragement that we are all looking at.
Ghana's Affirmative Action Act mandates a minimum of 30% female representation in public appointments by the end of 2026, 35% by the end of 2028, and increasing to 50% of public appointments for women by the year 2030. To further empower women economically, Ghana is establishing a Women's Development Bank to provide low-interest loans, financial literacy, training, and business development support to our women entrepreneurs.
I mean, all in all, look, you listen to all the other female leaders who were there. The Undersecretary for UN Women spoke elaborately about all the efforts that the UN is making for women. You heard, of course, about the woman, the Prime Minister from Iceland in particular, who spoke about her life as a young woman when she didn't even know then that today she'll be here as Prime Minister. I'm sure that all in all, we've had great meetings, great engagements. We've spoken also about the economy. Remember that for us to even fully fund all the empowerment initiatives, we need to ensure that the Ghanaian economy is consistent and stable. And you heard about the conversations with Prime Minister yesterday, for example, focusing largely on negotiations about China's very gracious offer of a 0% tariff up to 100% on products from Ghana in Africa in particular. President Mahama has actually also expressed the hope that Ghana may be the first African country to take advantage of this lifeline being offered. China is currently participating in Ghana's debt restructuring conversations. They've given the assurance that considering the inroads that are being made in managing the economy effectively, that very, very soon they're very sure that Ghana's economy will be back on track. You know, look, I think that this meeting actually has it evokes a lot of optimism, a lot of hope. And I've followed the news items from Accra, in particular from Ghana, the level of interest that this trip has generated. He spoke about mining interests and the contributions of Chinese companies in mining. He spoke about infrastructure in particular, spoke about hoping that their flower market will soon come on stream, noting very well that China actually has graciously donated some resources or funds to Ghana for the construction of that market. It's a strategic market at the border, a very large and busy business part of the Volta region, and he has even spoken about preparations that are now underway to secure the land, and then eventually the construction will begin. He hoped also that they'll be able to support us to renovate the Accra International Conference Center, which you know was one of the projects that was actually handed to the good people of Ghana by the Chinese government and its people. He reiterated the 65 years of Ghana-China relations. He encouraged more participation, additional interactions. There's a capacity building project on the table for women. There's also a project to ensure that more empowerment goes to the woman. And I believe that China hosting this particular conference at this time is also historic. It has never been done before. It is something that President Mahama hopes will lead to even more empowerment for not just the Ghanaian woman, but the African woman, and of course, the generality of the female populace as well.
This year, 2025, marks 65 years of diplomatic relations between Ghana and China, a milestone that celebrates not only the endurance of our relationship, but the purpose. Although our nations lie on different continents, Ghana and China are bound by history, by solidarity, and a common conviction that progress is most meaningful when it uplifts all our people.
Being a female myself, each time we talk about matters that have to do with enhancing, improving the life of a girl child or a woman, it fills me with a lot of hope. What is it that we all aspire to? We want to see women participate at the highest level, at all the decision-making levels. We heard all the other female leaders who spoke about when women lead, a lot of good things happen. When women lead, corruption is under control. When women lead, there's a lot of empathy. When women lead, there are always progressive ways that they encourage other women. And I believe that irrespective of the challenges to do with rural women in particular, when women lead, you know that there's also this inclusive ways in which we involve just about every other person. I believe that the future is female indeed, and we all look forward to a better life for the girl child, a better life for the female, a better life for the woman, and that we hope more decisions will be made that also inure to the benefit of the girl child as we go along. So these are my very personal reflections, and I'm looking forward to this impact continuing as we go along. And I'm grateful to God that at this time we have a leader in President John Dramani Mahama. We have a mother in our First Lady, Madam Lodina Dramani Mahama. You heard about the conversations with maternal mortality, for example. And you know that these are matters that are largely on the heart of the Lodina Foundation that is led by our mother, Madam Lodina Dramani Mahama. So I'm sure that all in all, it's been a fantastic engagement. It's been a great way to spend time. It's been a way to reassure the good people of Ghana that the Ghana-China relations are very, very strong. You heard about the illegal mining activities and the fact that they promised to support Ghana in its fight against illegal mining. They promised to support Ghana to find sustainable ways of engaging in better ways so that we can end this illegal mining thing that is currently going on in that home. So I think that all in all, it's been a great meeting. We look forward to going back home and continue to work for the interests of the good people of Ghana. I'm sure that everybody knows that Ghana is now in good hands. There's great leadership, there's better hope, there's opportunities for all. Above all, we have a man who loves Ghana as president.